Okay, let's see here. Let's make sure everything is straightened up. All right, everything looks pretty good so far. Okay, so let's begin. Okay, now I have to wait for people to show up. Oh, Brother Tunes is here. So hello everyone. Good afternoon. This is EB the Sponge Clipper. You may know me as EB the Original Master. This is my second channel, by the way. Today we're here to stream about future episodes for season 11 of SpongeBob. If you guys read the title of the video or the stream, the reason why I'm doing the stream is because that there are episodes that are planned to be released later on to the year, and there hasn't been any synopsis for it yet. So that's what we're here to do today. We're here to give out our predictions of what these episodes are going to be about. So without further ado, we shall begin. So I'm going to switch the camera now. So Masterface is here. Hello, Masterface. I'm gonna add you as mod just because. Hello. Okay, so let's begin. All right, so let me switch the camera here for a sec. All right, there we go. All right, so the first episode we got here is high sea diving. So there's lots of possibilities of what this episode could be about. So I'm just reading about the name of it, high sea diving. So I'm very curious about this episode, and I'm guessing it has to do with the sea, obviously, and that's what a sea is. It's high sea diving. So I'm guessing for this episode, so in high sea diving, I'm assuming that SpongeBob and Patrick are probably at a swimming pool or something. I don't know. It could be a swimming pool, or they're out in the ocean somewhere, and they're probably are swimming in this pool, and SpongeBob is probably afraid of heights or something. And I mean, I'm not sure, but that's just what I think what the episode should be about, high sea diving. Is because that or it could be something different, or it could be Mr. Krabs opening a swimming pool at the Krusty Krab. I know he did that at the ending of Krabs Alley Mode, but it could be something like that. It could be about a swimming pool. Either they get a diving board or something. But as of now, that's what I think high sea diving should be about. It could be either be a swimming pool, or they're out in the ocean somewhere. I'm not sure. But yeah. Okay, so the next episode we got is Bottle Burgers. So Bottle Burgers, this is a really easy synopsis we can come up with. So I'm guessing there's Krabby Patties and bottles, or it could be about the Flying Dutchman, you know? Like, what if the Flying Dutchman had to be involved in this episode? Like, what if the Flying Dutchman takes Krabby Patties and puts them in bottles and probably toxicate them, you know? It could be something like that. Or Mr. Krabs probably delivers or he tells someone SpongeBob and Squidward deliver Krabby Patties in bottles and give them to customers. It could be that. Or it could be something different. So Brother Tunes, he came up with an idea. Says, my plot prediction: SpongeBob and Patrick are spending their day at the pool, but SpongeBob is too afraid to go in the deep end. I mean that could be the synopsis too. That could be the idea for high sea diving as well. That's actually a really cool idea. SpongeBob is afraid to go to the deep end, and Patrick is not too afraid to do that. So yeah, that sounds like a really, really, really good idea. For SpongeBob and Patrick to go in the deep end of a swimming pool, but SpongeBob is afraid to do that. And for bottle burgers, the Flying Dutchman probably takes Krabby Patties and puts them in bottles. And yeah, so it could be that. All right, so the next idea is obviously my favorite one, is my leg. So my leg, there's lots and lots of predictions for this episode. It could be Fred's backstory. You know, Fred, the only character who says my leg throughout the entire series. It could probably be a backstory of why Fred keeps saying my leg. Like what makes him keep constantly saying this catchphrase. And it's been used since Arg, because in Arg from season 1, that was his first time saying such a quote, my leg, when Mr. Krabs threw him out the restaurant. So is there something about Fred's leg? Is like his leg is in pain or something? I mean, that has to be the synopsis, because it has to be, because Fred is the only character who says my leg, and it's pretty, and it makes absolute sense. It makes perfect sense for it to be about Fred. What other character could it be? It can't be SpongeBob or Patrick or anybody else, because they don't say my leg. Only Fred does. So yeah, I'm very, very excited for my leg, and I hope the title card looks really cool. It better not be no boring title card like we got with Moving Bubble Baths, because that title card was very, very boring. Bottle burgers from Reaction Guy. Mr. Krabs thinks that Krabby Patties can be turned into a drink. Okay, that sounds disgusting, but all right. I mean, that's a good idea, but why would you want to drink a Krabby Patty? That sounds disgusting, and I don't think that would be a good idea. But it's your prediction, and I completely respect it. Oh, by the way, you guys, make sure you like the stream, and make sure you can share it, because it's weird for the stream to have zero likes and zero. I mean, I'm just saying. I mean, you don't have to, but it'll be supportive if you did like the stream. You're probably gonna say, "Oh, why are you begging? Why are you begging for likes?" Like, look, I'm just saying, because it will show support. And yes, my leg should mostly be about Fred, because he's the only character who says my leg. It makes perfect sense. Bottle Burgers prediction: the Krusty Krab starts a delivery service, and it's doing very well. But SpongeBob finds it stressful, so he decides to deliver them in bottles because it's easier. Hey, that could be the synopsis. I mean, that's a really cool synopsis. What Brother Toons just said. Yeah, Mr. Krabs starts a delivery service where they deliver Krabby Patties to people's houses. I mean, that's a really cool idea. They haven't done something like that. All right, so let's move on to Ink Lemonade. So Ink Lemonade could have very, very high potential. So I'm guessing in Ink Lemonade, Squidward opens a lemonade stand, and he starts serving lemonade. And then when nobody doesn't like his lemonade, he tries to spice things up by literally squirting his own ink into the lemonade. And then the ink intoxicates the lemonade, causing everyone to become sick. So that's what I think Ink Lemonade should be about. Squidward opening a lemonade stand, and then people doesn't like his lemonade, so he spiced things up by literally squirting his own ink into the lemonade, and then intoxicate the customers, and they become very sick. So yeah, that's my prediction for Ink Lemonade. Yeah. I can definitely most likely see that SpongeBob and Patrick will be in the episode, because it's a lemonade stand, and you'll definitely be seeing them doing something like that. But I really wish the episode was more focused on Squidward more than any other character, because it makes proper sense if that was the case. Where do you even watch SpongeBob? You watch it on Nickelodeon. That's the only. Where else could you watch it? SpongeBob is on Nickelodeon. You can watch it on Nick.com. You can watch it on TV, or you could go on and watch cartoons online and watch small episodes from there. That's where you watch SpongeBob. Ink Lemonade may mostly be about Squidward, I hope. Yes, because I really want episodes that are more focused on other characters besides SpongeBob and Patrick. Because with Moving Bubble Bass, which came out yesterday, by the way, was a good episode. If you haven't seen it, it's probably posted on the Nickelodeon website. But yeah, that was a Bubble Bass related episode because it has to do with Bubble Bass, and that was a very, very good idea for them to do something like that. And yeah, I think Nickelodeon. Wait, no, never mind. Yeah, you're welcome. I'm saying that SpongeBob should have more character-focused episodes besides just SpongeBob and Patrick, because those episodes tend to get really annoying. My leg prediction: Fred breaks his legs permanently, so SpongeBob and Patrick need to cheer him up by doing non-leg related activities. Hey, that sounds really cool. I mean, that idea sounds a lot better than my prediction, because I think a backstory will probably be too boring. And for leg to break his legs permanently, that sounds like a really good idea. That sounds like a really, really cool episode. Like Fred breaks his legs, and then he must do activities that doesn't involve with his legs. Yeah, that sounds really interesting. I'm not making predictions because they'll be bad. Okay, all right. That's fine. That's fine. All right, so let's move on with Mustard O' Mine. So there was lots of predictions for this episode about a mine where there's mustard seeds. And so I'm guessing in Mustard O' Mine, I think SpongeBob goes to this mine where he can get mustard seeds to make mustard out of. So I'm guessing that the Krusty Krab runs out of mustard, and someone has to go to this mine to get some more. And he has to make his own mustard. So he makes his own mustard, and he then serves it at the Krusty Krab, and everyone seems to like it. Yeah, that could be mustard. That could be the episode for the synopsis for Mustard O' Mine. So SpongeBob's making Krabby Patties. There's no more mustard. So Mr. Krabs then shows him a picture of the mustard mines. This is just my predictions. I'm not saying that's what the episode is going to be about because we don't know the synopsis yet. And so him and Squidward actually goes out and find the mustard and go out to find the mine themselves. I don't want this to be Patrick because Patrick does not need to be involved in it. So it'll just be SpongeBob and Squidward. Okay, so those are my predictions for Mustard O' Mine. SpongeBob finds a mine in a cave and finds some sort of mustard hole where he could try to sell it. Oh, okay. I mean, that sounds really interesting. All right, next we got shopping list. So, in shopping list, I think in this episode, I'm not going to bring up Mr. Krabs because I brought him up way too many times in these synopsises. So I'm guessing in the shopping list, SpongeBob goes shopping. And then, yeah, he goes shopping. And then he must help someone out. He could possibly help someone out. Like, he goes shopping, he gives someone a list, and then he ends up getting the wrong items on the list, so he has to go back to the grocery store and get more. Oh, ink lemonade prediction. Squirrel starts a luxury lemonade business out of his own ink. And everyone likes it, but a businessman rips him off, and he needs to get the rights to the lemonade back. That sounds really cool. That sounds like a really good idea. Really good idea, Brother Tunes, for ink lemonade. But yeah, for a shopping list, I just don't want Mr. Krabs to be involved in it at all. I just don't want him to be involved in it. It's because that I just don't. Mr. Krabs does not need to be involved in every little thing. Like for an episode called Shopping List, I really don't think Mr. Krabs should be involved in it. I think it should just be SpongeBob going shopping at the Bargain Mart or other stores. Or it could just be SpongeBob just going to different stores and buying things from that shopping list. All right, so those are all of the ideas for this page. High sea diving, bottle burgers, my leg, ink lemonade, and mustard o' mine, and shopping list. Next, we're gonna do these ideas. Hold on a second. So we got these other ideas. The reason why these says TBA because we don't know the episode number yet for these episodes, but we do know them for here. These could be right, and these could either be right or wrong. So yeah. Anyway, so we got whale watching and clean living. So whale watching, that episode is pretty predictable. You can pretty easily predict that episode. So in whale watching, it could be Pearl is probably at her house, right? She's probably at Mr. Krabs' house, and Mr. Krabs is going out. I don't know. He's probably going out gambling or something. I don't know. He's probably going out somewhere, and he doesn't trust Pearl being home alone. So he hires SpongeBob to babysit her. So SpongeBob is babysitting Pearl while Mr. Krabs goes out. Yeah, so that's what I'm thinking whale watching is. And that sounds a whole lot better than SpongeBob and Patrick actually going out looking for whales with the binoculars, because that sounds very boring. And having Pearl to be in this episode makes a lot of sense. So yeah, Mr. Krabs does not trust Pearl being by herself in the house, so he hires SpongeBob to babysit her while he's gone. That sounds like a really cool synopsis. All right, so Brother Tunes has a prediction for Mustard O' Mine. Hold on, let me pull it up on the live chat. No. Let me show you. Show it on the screen. Okay, let's see here. All right, there we go. No, wait. That's not it. That is not it. Here we go. SpongeBob and Squidward are sent into the mines to get mustard, but they find the dangers of the mines. Oh, that's pretty cool. That's a really cool idea. That sounds really interesting. And if that's the case, then that's the case. All right, moving on. Clean living. So, I'm thinking so in clean living. So for my predictions for this episode, I'm guessing SpongeBob. No, wait. So Squidward. So Squidward lives a clean life, and SpongeBob likes to be really dirty. So Squidward gives SpongeBob advices that he should start living a better life if he starts cleaning up after himself. So SpongeBob takes Squidward's advice, and it does not turn out to be really easy. So that's what I think clean living should be about. Squidward lives a clean life while SpongeBob likes to be dirty a lot. So Squidward gives him advice for him to start cleaning up, so he'll start living a better life. And I think that sounds like a really cool idea. Hello, hentai enthusiast. Welcome to the SpongeBob SquarePants Season 11 Future Ideas live stream, where we break down the upcoming Season 11 episodes and come up with synopsises for them before the real synopsises come out. These are just predictions. These aren't true because we don't know them yet, but we're just predicting for predicting what we think these episodes could be about. So yeah. So far we did before we continue, we're gonna go back and backtrack this. So we did high sea diving, bottle burgers, my leg, ink lemonade, mustard o' mine, shopping list, whale watching. We just did clean living already. Yeah, we already did these two already. And now we're about to go to Pat Nocchio and Chef Bob. So Pat Nocchio, that sounds like a really all right, anyways, I did not know that. So I'm just all right, so I won't say it again. All right. Anyways, so moving on, we're doing Pat Nokio and Chef Bob. So Pat Nokio sounds like a really unique episode. For starters, I hope this episode is not going to be a retelling of Pinocchio, the wooden puppet boy who wants to be a real boy or something. I hope it's something unique. It could, I mean, it could be that. I mean, it could be that, to be honest. So, and I think in Pat Nokio, I think they're going to tell a retelling of Pinocchio, but with SpongeBob characters. And I hope and if that's the case, then that'll be really creative. If they do something like that, I hope the episode is taking place in the book. I don't want them to use the regular old animation style. I want them to go really creative with Pat Nokio if they're gonna do something like that. So Patrick, of course, is the wooden puppet, the wooden talking puppet who wants to be a real boy. Brother Toon shopping list prediction. Sandy gives SpongeBob a list of ingredients for her science experiment, but the items are very rare. Oh, all right. I mean, I hope it's not I mean, to be honest, I'm not really into that idea because I don't think a science experiment will be a good idea for an episode like shopping list. I think it should just be like going shopping. Like you go shopping and then you put the stuff in your refrigerator or in your pantry. I mean, your idea isn't bad, but overall, I'm just not into that idea, you know. But it's your prediction. It's your prediction for the episode, and yeah. So anyways, back to Pat Nokio. So yes, I want Pat Nokio. If they're gonna do Pat Nokio as the retelling of the Disney movie, then then the whole episode should be taking place like in a storybook. Like it's like a storybook. They have like a sepia tone. I'm probably mispronouncing it, but I don't care. It starts off with like a sepia tone, and then it goes into the color animation, and then it tells the story of Pinocchio, but with Patrick in it. You know, that sounds like a really cool idea. Anyways, so moving on, we got Chef Bob. Chef Bob. And this episode can come out in many different ways. It could be about SpongeBob attending a cook-off, or it could be an episode about SpongeBob making a dish, like a really tasty dish, and then he wants to sell his dish. He wants to sell it to people. So he probably makes his own restaurant. No, that'll be kind of like SpongeBob's Place a little bit. I don't want this episode to be like SpongeBob's Place, so let's scrap the restaurant idea off the list. Chef Bob could just be SpongeBob making a dish. Like he makes a very tasty dish, and then he sells it to people, and then they like his food. And then a food critic comes by and takes a taste of it, and then he gives SpongeBob really big loans of money. So yeah, that's basically what Chef Bob should be about. And I think that should be a really cool idea. Because I don't want this episode to be very similar to Lee Big Switch and SpongeBob's Place. Because in Lee Big Switch, SpongeBob switched his job from the Krusty Krab to a really fancy restaurant. Like a really fancy restaurant. All right, so those are my ideas for Pat Nokio and Chef Bob. Really cool ideas. Next, we got Library Cards and Planktons Paranoia. These two episodes. Whale watching prediction. After seeing him sleep on the job, Mr. Krabs hires Squidward to be Pearl's babysitter when he is out, but Pearl takes advantage of him. Oh, hold on. Let me read that again. After seeing him see him sleeping on the job, Mr. Krabs hires Squidward to be Pearl's babysitter when he's out, but Pearl takes advantage of him. That sounds fascinating. I mean, it's cool. I mean, it's actually really cool to have Squidward taking care of Pearl rather than SpongeBob, because we've seen SpongeBob and Pearl hang out pretty much like most of the time, but not all the time, but most of the time. And we rarely see Squidward and Pearl hanging out. The only time that we physically saw Squidward hanging out with Pearl or be with Pearl was Feral Friends in season 10. And another episode that I can think of is Whale of a Birthday from season 4. Those two episodes were episodes that Squidward kind of interacted with Pearl a little bit. And Bossy Boots, and definitely Bossy Boots. Vincent Waller says Squidward will be in the episode. Oh, okay, that's cool. All right, so let's move on now with library cards and Planktons Paranoia. So library cards sounds like a really good idea. So in library cards, SpongeBob and Patrick gets their library cards, and then they get library books. But on the day that they're but somehow SpongeBob and Patrick accidentally loses their library cards, and then they need to find a way to return their books back before things go wrong. You know, so SpongeBob and Patrick gets their library cards, they go to the library, get their books, and then on the day that they're supposed to return their books in, they notice that they lost their library cards, and then they ask Sandy for assistance. Could be Sandy, Mr. Krabs, definitely not Squidward, because Squidward doesn't care about them, so it could be between those two characters. So yeah, those are my predictions for library cards. And I don't know why they could have thought of that something sooner, but it's cool. I think the later seasons they come up with the more creative episodes, while they leave the more non-creative levels like in the past episodes, like the past seasons. Planktons Paranoia. So Planktons Paranoia, I think this episode could possibly be either a sequel to One Course Meal. But yeah, so I think in Planktons Paranoia, Plankton is probably he's probably taking a nap. Yeah, he's sleeping during the night, and then he has like this really very, very bad paranoia nightmare. He gets into a nightmare, and then his nightmares are like bugging him throughout the day. So basically Plankton is seeing things that he's not supposed to be seeing, and he starts to freak out and gets paranoia. So he goes to his doctor for assistance. So Brother Tunes came up with a prediction for clean living. SpongeBob becomes a neat freak after seeing how neat Squidward's house is. Oh, I mean that sounds really cool. I mean, if that's the case, then that sounds like a really, really cool idea for an episode for clean living. All right, so next we got Surf and Turf and Call the Cops. So Surf and Turf, I think in this episode, Larry the Lobster and SpongeBob competes in a surfing competition with these other hip, cool surfer fish characters. It could be fish, it could be whales. No, I want them to be whales and sharks. I don't want them to be fish. I want SpongeBob and Larry the Lobster attend a surfing competition with these really cool, tough gangster whales and sharks, so they compete with them in a surfing competition. I hope Karen's virus will be about Karen getting a virus and sabotaging Plankton's plans. Yeah. But we're not into Karen's virus yet, but that sounds like a really cool idea for an episode for Karen's virus. All right, so Call the Cops. Let's see here. So I think in the episode Call the Cops, Squidward calls the police on SpongeBob for breaking into his home, and SpongeBob eagerly tells him not to call the police on him. I mean, it's really hard to come up with a synopsis for Call the Cops because you can come up with many ways of how SpongeBob and Squidward could get into a cop situation, you know. So I think SpongeBob probably breaks into Squidward's house, and then Squidward has had enough of SpongeBob, so he threatens to call the cops on him, and SpongeBob tells him not to, you know. Those are just my ideas for Call the Cops, and yes, that's basically what I think the episode should be about. If that's not the case, then something really creative will probably come out of the SpongeBob crew when they come up with this episode. So yeah, Surf and Turf, Larry the Lobster and SpongeBob attends a surfing competition, and Call the Cops, Squidward threatens to call the cops on SpongeBob for breaking into his home. So yeah. All right, so next we got Goons on the Moon. So now this episode sounds really, really interesting. So Goons on the Moon. I think in this episode, SpongeBob and Patrick gets lost on the moon while doing a space mission for Sandy. And then she must go on to the moon, and she must go there to save her. I mean, to save them. To save SpongeBob and Patrick from the moon. I'll have to go in a bit. So yeah, so that's basically what I think Goons on the Moon should be about. SpongeBob and Patrick goes on a space mission, and then they accidentally get stranded on the moon. And then on the moon, there's like these creepy alien critters living on the moon, and they need to survive on the moon until Sandy gets there to save them. And it appears that it's going to be a special because it doesn't have a segment. It doesn't have a slash. If it was a slash, then that would be a segment A and segment B. But Goons on the Moon is going to be a 22-minute episode. So I think there's probably going to be more into the plot than just SpongeBob and Patrick being stranded on the moon. They can probably come up with really creative ways of how the characters will interact on the moon. All right, so next we got Appointment TV and Karen's Virus. So I think Appointment TV will be about Squidward orders a television set. He orders a television set, and then he orders a television set. He waits too long for the TV, and so he then tries to schedule another appointment for another TV. And when that doesn't come in, he constantly schedules appointments for his television to be ordered until he loses his mind and forgets about it. So that's my prediction for Appointment TV for SpongeBob. Squidward schedules an appointment for television to be ordered. And I think once he gets to the store to get his TV, it appears that somebody has already taken that TV. And then so Squidward tries to order in a new TV. I mean, that's basically what I think the episode should be about. If that's not the case, then that's fine. All right, so moving on to Karen's Virus. So in Karen's Virus, just like what Nintendo fan 189 said, Karen gets a virus and then he starts sabotaging Plankton's plans. So I think in this episode, in Karen's Virus, Karen gets a virus into her hardware, which makes her very snappy. So I'm thinking Karen's virus probably changes her personality. She's a lot meaner. She's a lot nastier. And so Plankton tries to get the virus out of her hardware before the damage is done. Because I just don't want the virus to cause Karen to break down. I actually want the virus to change her personality. Like, I want her to feel snappy and evil and mean. You know. No, Brother Toons is not Reaction Guy. All right, so Brother Toons have to leave now. That stinks. But yeah, we're halfway done, you guys. We're halfway through with this. We only got a few more episodes left, and then we'll be done. Anyways, so yeah, so that's what I think Karen's virus should be about. Karen gets a virus on her computer. I mean, in her hardware. Her hardware. She gets a virus. It changes her attitude and her personality. And so Plankton. Plankton tries to get the virus out so she could be nice again. So yeah, that's Karen's virus. All right, so next we got the night patty and the grill is gone. This is episode 239. So the night patty. I have no clue what this episode should be about. I have no clue. Could it be about SpongeBob? I don't know. Working at the Krusty Krab late at night or something, or SpongeBob eats a Krabby Patty during the middle of the night. I mean, it's really hard to come up with a synopsis for an episode like this because it sounds really difficult to come up with. But the SpongeBob crew could definitely come up with something really unique for the night patty. So we only have 2 viewers here. Not that much people, but hey, it is what it is. All right, so next we got the grill is gone. So this sounds like a really easy episode to come up with. So and the grill is gone. I think in this episode, SpongeBob's grill has gone missing in the Krusty Krab, and so Mr. Krabs then gives him another choice, gives him another job to do in the Krusty Krab until he finds his grill again. All right, so yeah, I'm gonna ask Nintendo for he's still here. Yeah, that's my synopsis for the grill is gone. The grill in the Krusty Krab has gone missing, and SpongeBob must do another job in the Krusty Krab until he finds his grill again. So that's what I think the grill is gone is about. All right, so Bubble Town and Girls' Night Out. So Bubble Town is Bubble Town has been confirmed that Bubble Buddy will be returning in Bubble Town. So in Bubble Town, I think Bubble Buddy probably invites SpongeBob to his part of town where he'll probably give him a tour around Bubble Town. So I think in Bubble Town, SpongeBob gets an invitation to Bubble Town where Bubble Bass is. I said Bubble Bass. I'm sorry, Bubble Buddy, not Bubble Bass. Bubble Buddy. Yes, I'm getting Bubble Bass and Bubble Buddy confused now. And I know the difference. I know the 2 characters' differences. So Bubble Buddy, gives SpongeBob. He gives him an invitation to visit his part of town. So Bubble Buddy gives him a grand tour of Bubble Town, and yeah, so that's what I think Bubble Town should be about. And I hope the title card looks really good. I hope it's not the Bubble Buddy and Bubble Buddy Returns title card, because that'll be really lazy. I want them to create a really unique title card for Bubble Town. And next we got Girls' Night Out. So in Girls' Night Out, I think Pearl goes out with her friends at the mall, and then things doesn't go as well where she isn't enjoying herself, so she wants somebody to be out with her. So yeah, Girls' Night Out, Pearl goes out with her friends at night, obviously, and then things isn't turning well as it is. So yeah, that's my synopsis for Girls' Night Out. All right, last but not least, Squirrel Jelly and the String. So yeah, Squirrel Jelly. The last episode that we're doing, that there was going to be an episode called the episode Move Your Bubble Bass is already has our yeah. After people here, and we're almost done. So Squirrel Jelly, I think for this episode, Sandy probably studies jellyfish. She studies jellyfish, and then she wants to use the jellyfish to make jelly out of it, and she starts selling it to people. So yeah, it kind of sounds like Sandy's Nightmare from season 9B. But I can see that they could do something more than her just selling jelly. You know, they need to do something different than that. But yeah, that's what I think squirrel jelly should be about. Sandy studies jellyfish, and then she starts to make jelly out of it and starts to sell it to people. So yeah. And last but not least, we got the string. So the string is the last episode that we know of as of now. So in the string, I think in this episode, SpongeBob and no wait, I think SpongeBob gives Gary a ball of yarn, and Gary then plays with the ball of yarn, and he's obsessed with the string. And then he starts to play with and he starts to take the string wherever he goes. And SpongeBob is annoyed that Gary's attracted to this yarn string, so he tries to take it away from Gary. It could be about that, or it could be, I don't know, SpongeBob and Patrick plays with a piece of string. I mean, it could either go ways. It could either go ways. And I don't think this episode will have a really unique concept because it just called the string. Doesn't sound anything too interesting, you know. But yeah, so that's my synopsis for the string. All right, guys. I know there's not that much people here, but I'm going to go ahead and end off the stream because everybody is leaving, doing their thing. So I would like to thank you guys for showing up today on my predictions for the future season 11 episodes of SpongeBob SquarePants. And yeah, so thanks for coming. And I guess I'll see you guys next time with another stream sometime in the future. So bye.